Hello and welcome to the UCLA Summer Global Cities Info Session. My name is Ucla. I am the Associate Director for International Programs and Scholarships at the International Education Office, or IEO, and I am also the advisor for the UCLA Summer Global Cities program. UCLA Global Cities is a relatively new program, and it's ideal for students who want to maximize their summer. So maybe you want to have a study abroad experience, but you really need to take a class at UCLA during the summer. Or maybe you just want to catch up or get ahead on your studies. This program will allow you to complete a quarter's worth of academic credit. And you will also have a unique, one-of-a-kind academic and cultural experience. The main goal of the UCLA Global Cities program is to provide the students with a comparative perspective on the creativity, economics, social-political, and cultural background of the host city. You will meet local students from our partner university, and you will study alongside them. You will attend social events and activities that will connect you to other program participants, and this will allow you to have a more meaningful cultural experience. One of the benefits of having this connection with locals is that they can teach you a lot about their city, about their country. So this program will provide you a true cultural immersion. We all know how important networking is. In this program, you will have the opportunity to build out your professional and social network. It is important to expand your contacts as they may open doors to new opportunities in the future. And we hope that by the end of the program, you will have made lifelong friendships. UCLA Global Cities is a cohort-based program that runs for about 10 or 11 weeks, depending on the courses and destination you select. And it is comprised of 2 consecutive sessions. During the first 4 to 5 weeks, you will join a group of local students at the host university. And during the last 6 weeks, the same cohort of students will come to UCLA to attend Summer Session C. So students from both universities will stay together during the entire duration of the program. While you are abroad, we want you to have a rich cultural experience that will be facilitated by the host university and their students. However, when the group comes back to UCLA, we will be the host. It will be our turn to show to our visiting students what LA culture is all about and what LA has to offer. And to accomplish that, we will have social and cultural events being part of the program. So our office, IEO, will promote events that will help our visiting students to also have that cultural immersion that we want you to have while you are abroad. And we will count on you to help us welcome our visiting students and also engage them so they will have a better understanding of LA culture. All the courses that are offered by the Global Cities program have been pre-approved by UCLA for transfer credit. So you can go to our website under ieo.ucla.edu, Global Cities, and you can see exactly how the credits will transfer to UCLA. You can see if the courses are upper or lower division. You can see how they transfer in terms of credits. However, these courses have not been approved for major or minor degree requirements. So if you want a course to meet a major or minor degree requirement, you must talk to your advisor, check with your department to make sure you have that approved before you go abroad. Also, many of the courses that are offered by the Global Cities program meet language and GE requirements. So if you have language or GE requirements that you need to satisfy, You can take a look at the courses that do meet those requirements. And the nice thing is you do not need to submit a petition. Those courses have already been approved, and you can also find what kind of GE requirement they satisfy. For the language, will basically be Spanish language if you go to Barcelona. So for your study abroad adventure, you can choose one of the following destinations. You can go to Amsterdam, you can go to Barcelona, or you can go to Milan. Our partner university in Amsterdam is VU Amsterdam. I am not going to try to pronounce the full name of the university because I'm pretty sure I'm not going to do a good job. But at VU Amsterdam, you will be attending VU Amsterdam Summer School. The program there is a 4-week program during the month of July. The language of instruction is English, and they do not have a minimum GPA requirement, but we ask you to be in good academic standing in order to participate. Some sample areas of study are business, economics, political science, history, but these are just sample. So if you are not in one of these areas, there is no problem. And just for you to have an idea, these are some of the courses that VU Amsterdam offered last term. Big Data and Society, Foundations of International Business, The Economics of Urbanization, Decolonizing Europe, Organizational Behavior Management, Governing Climate Change, among others. Our partner university in Barcelona is Universitat Pompeu Fabra, or UPF. And at UPF, you'll be attending BIS, which is their Barcelona International Summer School. The program can go from 4 to 5 weeks, which will be end of June and beginning of July, or actually the whole month of July, sorry. And you have the option. There are courses that will be taught in Spanish, and there were courses that will be taught in English. You do need to meet the Spanish requirement for you to enroll in Spanish taught courses. Their minimum GPA requirement is 3.0, so you must have a 3.0 or higher GPA. And you can meet GE and language requirements. So one nice thing of Barcelona is that besides the 2 courses that you will be selecting to attend, you also have the option to take a Spanish course. So if you go to our website, you will see what levels of Spanish language course they offer and how they transfer to UCLA. And all of them will meet some sort of level of language requirement. Sample areas of study can be Spanish, economics, political science, history, film and TV. And here are some of the courses that they offered last term: interactive media art, migration and cinema, social innovations and social entrepreneurships, Barcelona on Stage, European Union and Global World, Law and Economics, among others. And our partner in Milan is Cattolica del Sacro Cuore, or UCSC. And at UCSC, you will be attending UCSC Cattolica International. Their courses go from 4 to 6 weeks. So depending on the courses you select, you will be there for 4, 5, or 6 weeks. And you will start mid-June, basically the same day we start summer sessions at UCLA, and we'll go to either mid-July or end of July. Language of instruction is English. You need to have a 2.75 GPA or higher to qualify, and you can satisfy GE requirements. Some of the courses do satisfy GE requirements. Simple areas of study are marketing and communication, business and economics, political science, cultural studies, international relations. And here are some of the courses that they offered last term: business, government, and the global economy, a mafia story, its representation in literature, cinema, and television, international order and world politics, Italian politics, and the international system, among others. And then for summer session C, the entire group comes back to UCLA. And at UCLA, you will be required to be a full-time student, which means you need to take 8 units. You will select from courses from an approved list that will be available on our website. And we expect you to be engaged in all activities and events that our office will be promoting, because you will be hosting the students from our partner university. Now, this week, we are having a keyword scavenger hunt as part of the Global Learning Opportunities Week, or GLOW. And the word for today is Ucla. So if you want to enter for a chance to win a $75 gift certificate or a gift card, you can go to io.ucla.edu/glow to submit the keyword, and make sure you submit it by the end of day today. And if you are not familiar with this word, it's a Danish word for well-being, and it can also mean cozy or comfortable. So let's go into program costs and funding. Here you can see a comparison table, and most of these are estimates, but I wanted to give you an idea of what the cost is to study abroad or to study at UCLA during the summer or even during a fall quarter. As I mentioned in the beginning of the presentation, this program, you will be able to earn a quarter's worth of academic credits. So let's see how it compares in terms of cost. So if you go to Barcelona, it's an 11-week program. You will be receiving 8 units of UCLA units because you will be taking 8 units for summer session C. And you can transfer up to 9 credits from Barcelona. That's the program tuition and fees. Room and meals, that is an estimate that includes your cost abroad and at UCLA as well in LA. If you compare that to UCLA summer sessions, so let's suppose you want to take about the same number of units, but you want to take it during summer sessions. You can see that there is not much difference in terms of cost. Also, what we are providing is an estimate. So let's suppose you can get housing for less than we are estimating, or even your round trip airfare. So the program cost will end up being even less of what we are showing. Another one is UCAP, the program in Oxford. That one, the program tuition and fees is a lot higher. Or we can compare also if you stay on campus during, let's suppose, the fall quarter, and you can see the total. And just keep in mind that out-of-state students will still have to pay an additional non-resident tuition on top of that total cost. So financial aid. If you are currently receiving financial aid at UCLA, most likely you will be eligible to receive financial aid for the Global Cities program as well. Just remember that during the summer, grants are extremely limited. You can apply for scholarships, but be prepared to have your financial aid package to consist primarily of loans. That can include parent or private loans, but that will be the most of your financial aid for the summer. In order to apply for financial aid, you must submit your FAFSA by the priority deadline, which is March 2. You also must complete the summer aid application, which will be open during the month of April. Now, here is a bonus. If you want to maximize your financial aid, for UCLA, you need to be a full-time student, meaning 12 units, to receive the maximum amount of financial aid during the summer. So we have an optional $199 course that you can enroll for summer session A. And with that course, you bring your units at UCLA up to 12 or to 12, and you then are eligible for a maximum financial aid package. There are many scholarships available, and I would advise you to start looking for them. Go online and do searches. You can look for need-based, identity-based, merit-based scholarships. You can also apply to UCLA scholarships. We have scholarships that go between like 1,500 to 2,000. Most likely we'll be opening applications for scholarships starting January, scholarships for summer programs. And there is a scholarship just for students that participate in the Global Cities program. And we also have some information about external scholarships on our website. Many scholarships have really early deadlines, sometimes months in advance. So plan ahead, make sure you start applying, searching for scholarships now if you're planning on studying abroad next year. And then you can visit io.ucla.edu/scholarships for more information. And also, if you go to our events webpage, we have under the on-demand section, there is a presentation that was done on scholarships, how you can find them, how to apply for them. So I would recommend you that you go to io.ucla.edu/glow and look for that presentation. So how do you apply for the Global Cities program? Registration opens November 18th. So starting November 18th, you can apply, and we'll close registration April 1st. You can go to our website to apply. Just remember, this is a first come, first served program, so spaces are limited. Due to the nature of the program that's very unique, we will be accepting up to 10 students per location. So if you're interested in going abroad with the Global Cities program, make sure you apply as soon as possible. Now, here is something different from other programs that we offer. Usually, we ask students to apply and pay the deposit to secure their spot. However, for the Global Cities, we are not going to have the final list of courses until early to mid-January. So this is what we are doing. If you want to reserve your spot in the program, you can submit an application when it opens, but you don't have to make the deposit. It's starting January 15, when all the courses will be available on our website. Then we do need the deposit in order to secure your place in the program. So you can just apply, and then if there are, if the courses that you want to take are not available, you just don't submit the deposit. But if it's something that you still want to pursue, you put the $200 deposit down and you will have your spot in the program. And then you will go back to the registration form and you will select the courses that you want to take during the summer. And then the final payment should be made by April 10. Now, here is a question in everyone's mind. Is study abroad going to be possible during this COVID-19 era? As of today, I want to let you know that all summer 2021 programs are scheduled to run. Our office is monitoring world events and assessing the safety of our programs. We want to be sensitive to your timeline, but we are also working in an ever-changing environment. So more than ever, we ask you, if you are planning on study abroad in the near future, we ask you that you be flexible, as there are many factors that are out of our control, and our plans can also change unexpectedly. However, we will try to make decisions as soon as possible. We are talking about probably by March, we would have a much better idea of what is happening, if the program will happen or not. And here is a very important piece of advice. If you have to renew your passport or apply for a new one, make sure you do that ASAP. Usually it takes about 6 to 8 weeks to process a passport. And we know that the US Department of State has an extensive backlog of passport applications. So don't leave for last minute. Make sure you get your passport renewed or your passport ready to go to ensure that you have your passport in a timely manner. So here is a QR code that you can scan, and there is a very short form for you to complete if you want to have like a one-on-one advising or just drop in on advising session. This is for me to have an idea of your availability, so I can schedule my the windows of my sessions according to your schedule as well. But you are also welcome to email me at wlear@io.ucla.edu, and I'll be happy to connect with you or answer any question you may have. When you request advising, I just want to clarify one point. We actually have two programs in our office that are called Global Cities. The one I'm talking about today, UCLA Summer Global Cities, it's a UCLA program. It only happens during the summer, and it has the first part of the program is abroad, and the second part of the program is at UCLA, which is very different from Global Cities and Urban Realities. That's a UCAP program that happens during the spring term, and the entire program is abroad. So make sure you don't get confused when you're contacting either me or our office for advising on global cities. Just make sure you specify which global cities you're interested in. And here is some information how you can contact our office. We are located at Murphy Hall 1332, but of course we are not there right now. We are safely home. And so the best way for you to contact us is by email, or you can go to our website as well and find information about virtual advising. We have drop-in advising, we have one-on-one advising, and you can get information about any of the programs that we offer. If maybe Global Cities is not the program for you, you can contact our office and find out about other opportunities. And here is information. If you want to sign up for our email newsletter, you can scan this QR code, and we will send you program information and updates. So I'll just leave this a little bit longer here on the screen so you can scan if you want. And just remember, this whole presentation will be available on demand. So if you missed anything, you can go back and see the recording. And with that, I want to thank you all for attending. And now we will move to question and answers. And I see that there's a question here. So the question is, if the summer session is canceled due to COVID-19, would we be able to refund our deposit? Yes. So yes and no. So here is the thing for global cities. If the program is canceled, you chances are we are not going to be canceling in all locations. So you do have the option to select another location. But in the case that everything is canceled, we will transfer your deposit to summer sessions if you keep enrollment in at least one summer session course. And so you would be taking 2 courses at summer session C and maybe 1 at summer session A, as long as you keep 1 course, and it doesn't have to be the courses that you have selected before. It can be any course, as long as you keep enrollment in at least 1 summer sessions course, the deposit will be applied towards that course. So you're not going to be losing the deposit at all. And then another question about accommodation. So 2 of our partners, Milan and Barcelona, they do not have a on-campus housing, a student housing, but they do work with housing providers around the university. And they can get better deals in terms of summer housing. So we will have all that information on our website, probably not later than early January. So if you want to take a look at housing options, they will be available, but you are free to pick any housing anywhere you want. Now, with Amsterdam, with VU Amsterdam, that's a little bit different because the housing cost is already included in the program fee. So for Barcelona and Milan, you can select your own housing. For VU Amsterdam, we will have a housing already selected for you. And that information will come up also early January. So if you have any specific questions about accommodations, you can contact me. But most of the information will be updated on our website, and it should be available by early January. So if you have any more questions, you're welcome to go and type on the Q&A box. I will give just a couple minutes. Oh, okay, another question came in. Can you apply for multiple locations? Not at the same time. So you can apply for one location, and you will have until April 1st to decide where you want to go. So if you want to change your location, as long as there is still space on for that program, you are welcome to make the change to switch to another location. But you cannot apply to multiple locations at the same time. Okay, so I think that's the end of our questions. So I thank you so much for attending this info session. And I hope you decide to study abroad next year.